So welcome to the overview for the Engineering Management Master's Degree Program. We're excited to talk to you about the program today. But first, I want to introduce ourselves. So there we go. We're going to start with introductions. I'm going to talk about the program, the different components of it, and then we'll end with the application process. So first, I'm introducing somebody who isn't here at the moment, and that is Pat Walsh. He is our enrollment coach. So he is somebody who can help you with filling out your application. If you have questions on what should be in there or whether this program is the right one for you, he's really a great person to help direct in the correct area. I'm the program director for the program. So if you join the engineering management program, I'd be your academic advisor. I'm going to go ahead and have Corrine introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Cureen. I am one of the graduate advisors for our online credit programs. I work with engineering management as well as some of our other programs.
Thank you, Corrine. All right, and so our emails are on there. So feel free to reach out to any of us if you need to. All right, so our unit is part of the College of Engineering. You might sometimes hear the term interdisciplinary professional programs, and that's the name of our office. And there's three different things that are run within the interdisciplinary professional programs. And one of them is the online graduate degrees for the College of Engineering, what we're talking about today. But they also do professional development courses, which are short courses that you might use for continuing education credits. And then we also do peer learning and custom courses as well. Our mission is to advance the Wisconsin idea for COE, for the College of Engineering, by delivering professional education programs and learning services to individuals and organizations. And so we are that red portion of this unit. There's quite a few different programs available within our unit. We're going to be talking today about the engineering management program, but we do have Master's of Science degrees also in power engineering and in manufacturing systems engineering. Then we have the Master of Engineering program, and those are engineering data analytics, sustainable systems engineering, and polymer engineering. We also have graduate capstone certificates, and these are smaller programs that can stack into a master's degree. So they're a great option for someone who's not quite sure if they want to start a master's degree yet. It gets you a smaller piece to start with, and then you can then apply it to your master's degree if you continue on. And we have those in four different areas right now. We have one that is in polymers, one in power, one in engineering management, and then we have one that is artificial intelligence for engineering data analytics. So quite a portfolio of things to choose from. As I mentioned, we're going to focus on engineering management today. Um, Getting your master's degree is a great way to take that next step in your career as you're trying to get to that next level. And the engineering management program in particular is going to bridge that gap between both business and engineering. It's a great option for those who want to grow into leadership positions in their company, really focusing on the engineering side of the business. It will give you both components to help you be successful. And many times we call this the engineer's MBA, if you've heard that term. They are referring to the engineering management program. Our faculty are both on-campus faculty, but we also have adjunct faculty. And these are folks that are working in industry and are coming back to give back of their knowledge in their particular expertise area. So you can learn both from industry experts and from faculty experts as well. Here's a comment from Matt, who graduated in 2020. Um, excuse me. So he started this program really while he was still in the Navy, and then he went and graduated from here in 2020 and left the Navy after it and started a new career. And so he really appreciated how MEM helped him grow to that next step in there. I'll leave this up here for a moment for you to read. All right, so let's jump into engineering management. We'll start with the Master of Science degree in engineering management. This is all online. It is 30 credits. All of our master's degrees in our programs are 30 credits long. Most students will take between 2 and 4 years to complete the degree. That timeline usually is dependent on your tuition reimbursement from your employer. The ones who take 4 years, it's generally because they're maximizing that tuition reimbursement. 2 years is a great amount of time to finish if you're able to do that. You can start any term with this program. You can start in the fall, spring, or summer. And the credit is $1,300 per credit. And that is whether you are a Wisconsin resident or not. We are looking for a Bachelor of Science in Engineering. We're looking for a minimum a minimum GPA of a 3.0 to get in. If you're a little bit under that, though, please still apply because we do make exceptions and we look at other parts of your experience to validate that you'll be successful in the program. A GRE is not really required here, but this could be something that's useful if, let's say that you had an undergraduate GPA of 2.75 and you still wanted to apply. A GRE could be a way of showing that you're ready to jump in. And of course, we have the requirements. If your native language is in English, we will ask for those English proficiency test scores. All right, my favorite part, jumping into the classes. So let's just make an assumption on this one that you're starting in the summer. In a summer start, you would start with our Foundations of Engineering Leadership course. It's a 2-credit course that kind of kicks off the whole program. It kind of walks you through leadership and your components and where you have strengths and gaps and how you create a growth plan for yourself in engineering leadership. And then you take a 1-credit class with that. And if you're doing a 2-year plan, ethics for professionals is a good choice to go along with that. Then you move into the fall semester. And in this example, we're doing the economics class and the technical project management class. And then in spring, you do your communications course and your analysis for decision-making course. And that's great that rounds out your first year of the program. And at that point, you're halfway through. That second summer, you do engineering law, and this is where you jump into things like patents and contract law. And then you have a 1-credit elective, and that could be, in this case, negotiations, although we have other choices as well. And your second fall, you typically put all your electives here, your 2 3-credit electives. The examples shown here are international engineering strategies and our marketing course. And then you round out the whole program with your capstone experience, where you do a project at work that you're applying to your courses. And generally, this is quality engineering and quality management combined with applied leadership and management of engineering organizations. And so it's one of the great things about this program is how much we integrate the work you're doing at work into the work you're doing in school. So you can make things work in both venues, which really does help you save some time. So this is a sample plan. So I want to bring up the overall curriculum to show you some of the other components. The required courses, you saw all of those listed in that sample plan. But within the electives, some of the other courses that you might choose could be the industrial data analytics course, the inspection, quality control, and reliability course if you're focusing on manufacturing. We talked about the other two. Change management is one of the 1-credit courses. We have creating breakthrough innovations as another 1-credit course. And then this fostering and leading innovations is a 3-credit innovations course. And then we do allow you to select electives outside the program as well, if that's appropriate. And we go through what makes sense for you based on your goals within your career. All right. We also have a scholarship now, which is really exciting. We've just started this last semester, and this is the Wayne Feder. I can never say his name correctly. Might not have to use this recording. The Wayne Federhart Memorial Scholarship. And this is a $2,500 scholarship per semester. You can reapply every semester to be able to use that scholarship. All right, we do have a capstone certificate as well, and this is the 9-credit program that could stack into the engineering management program if you wanted to start out with that first. And so this is same requirements you saw for the master's degree. It's online. You can come in every term. It's the same tuition, but generally it takes about a year to complete these 9 credits. And you'll notice that we have a different required undergraduate GPA here of 2.75. And that's because this is also a great way to jump in if you don't quite meet the requirements for the master's degree and you want to show that you are ready to jump into that master's program. So here's an image to kind of show you how that stackability works. That applied engineering management capstone certificate of 9 credits then feeds into the 30 credit master's degree. All of those credits apply directly. So then when you started your engineering management master's degree, you would have 21 more credits to complete. All right, so here's a sample of what the plan looks like on the Applied Engineering Management capstone. Everyone would take that Foundations of Engineering Leadership course that was on the master's sample. They'd also take the economics course and then the analysis for decision making course. Then we have a 1 credit one that's paired in the summer, and that one we select based on the needs of the individual. And here you'll see that we're showing presentations for professionals. So maybe somebody who needs some more experience in communications related to presentations. But if we take a look at the overall options here, you might instead want more experience in writing, more communications within the writing venue. Or maybe you don't have much experience with project management and you want a smaller kickoff to help you get successful before jumping into that 3 credit version of the master's. And so we have a 1 credit project management course. And then, of course, the ethics for professionals is another option as well. All right. How does this all work? This is always a big question, is how do you make this work with your daily life? And we are specifically set up to support individuals who are working full time. Now, it's really because it's supported for working full time, it's really kind of focused maybe in the Midwest, a little bit on the East Coast and Mountain. And as you start to leave the US, it gets a little harder to fit that time in there because we do have our web conferences in the evening Central Time. So keep that in mind that your web conferences are generally in the evening. They can be on Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday nights. Any one of those nights might be when your class is. We do not do the web conferences on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Generally between 5 and 9 p.m. Central Time, although occasionally we'll have one that's at 9 a.m. or one that's at noon. That is the oddity. Most of them are in the evening. So once you know when your web conference is, that's 1 hour a week for the 15 weeks of class or the 8 weeks of class. Now you start building in your homework around that. So you figure out when are you going to do your reading? When are you going to do your homework? When are you going to do your group work? And then keeping in mind that everything is always due on Sunday night at midnight. And so you can kind of plan out your week that way and then make sure that you're turning in your homework each Sunday night. Okay. So if this is something that seems like it fits you well, we actually are right now in the final application stages for starting the spring 2026 semester. So you could start submitting your application now and you have time to do that. If you wanted to start in the summer though, then you can apply as late as May 1st and then for a fall start as late as July 1st. And what we're looking for in there is something that I'm going to actually have Kareen talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Kareen.
All right, thank you, Heather. So, as Heather mentioned, we are currently accepting applications for our spring term with a deadline of November 1st. If you're having trouble meeting that deadline, please reach out to me. It's important to note that we process your application as soon as it is submitted. We do not hold your application until the deadline, and you are not competing with other students for a spot in our program. You will be evaluated solely on your application and if you meet your requirements for admissions. So please don't worry about um, how your application matches up against other applicants. Um, as Heather stated above, we want you to have a degree in engineering, but if you don't, you need a strong STEM background. And if you have questions about the background, please send an unofficial transcript to us, and we can look at that and evaluate that to see if you have enough science and math in your background to be successful in our program. Part of your application is going to ask you to provide a personal statement. There is no set template for this statement, but this is your chance to really let the committee know more about your background and why you would like to participate in our program. It's really your chance to help the committee know um, to know you beyond your transcript, beyond your resume. It's your chance for you to talk to the committee about any gaps in your transcript, any low grades, any gaps in your resume, any achievements that you didn't really get to highlight um, throughout the rest of your application. Okay, Heather, next slide. Um, Once your application is submitted, the committee will review your application at a program level. They'll make the recommendations, and then I'll send you a decision based on the program's level recommendation. Your application then is sent to the grad school and they make a final review. The grad school is making a check to make sure that they have your official transcript, which means that it went from your undergrad school to the grad school directly, and that um, if you were an international student and your bachelor's degree was from an international school, or you marked on your application that you're an international student, that you have taken some sort of test that is in the admissions um, requirements to show your English proficiency. I can answer questions about which tests we accept and the scores. It's also making sure that you meet requirements for a GPA, or that we have done some other paperwork or other programs such as AEM to help boost your application, to let them know why you might be a good applicant, even though your GPA is below a 3.0. Um, and then the grad school will make their final decision, and they will send you an official letter, also via email. This email letter will let you know whether you've been admitted or not admitted, and then it will give you information about how, if you've been admitted, how to start that process. And throughout this whole journey, I will be able to communicate with you about where you are if you have questions. If something happens, sometimes people get caught in the system where something just doesn't go right and it glitches even though you've been admitted, and it just doesn't flip to the next system. Um, I'm happy to help you through all of that process. We can communicate via email or virtually, or we can talk via phone if that's your preferred communication style as well. You just need to reach out to us via the email address that was at the beginning and that will be at the end of the slide. Next slide. And because you've either watched this video or attended our webinar, we are giving you the opportunity to get a application fee waiver code that will waive the $75 application fee. So if you are interested in that, again, reach out to me and I will provide that for you. Well, not last slide, but next to last slide. Thank you for joining us. And these are some of our web addresses where you can get more information from us.